Hey guys, all right, dropping in to do another Greek Pantheon episode. Today we're going to be discussing Deadelus. Um, pretty sure I'm saying his name correctly. He is not one of my favorite characters ever, but he is the father of Icarus, and we're going to be talking about Icarus soon because I actually did a retelling of Icarus, not a modernization, but an actual like retelling. Because one of my most favorite people in the entire world challenged me to do a retelling of Icarus, but give him a happy ending. So I did. I feel like it turned out pretty well. I'm trying to send it to a copy editor, but I gotta save up the moolah. I think that if you're self-publishing, it's really important to have a copy editor. They can charge like 9 cents a word. So depending on how big your work is, like it can add up and cost a pretty penny. But it really is important because there is nothing more annoying than reading a story and it's like somebody misspells their or your. And there's already such a stigmatization associated with self-publishing because like literally anyone can do it. Um, so I would think that, or I think, that if you are self-publishing, that it's just important to have a second set of eyes. Because like I've read that story again at least 100 times, if not more. Um, and so there are things that like I'm gonna miss. I'm just not gonna see it because my eyes are just like glazing over it because your brain filters out information. So even if it's like there and I do see it, my brain's like, oh, we've already seen that. Think, and you don't remember it. Anyway, back in point, we're going to talk about Deadelus. Deadelus was a scientist, and he was very, very skilled and desired. And basically, um, when um, Icarus was really young, Deadelus got hired on by the king of Minos on the island of Crete. So it's an island, and he did like all kinds of shady stuff for the king, inventing lots and lots of stuff. Um, and here's basically where Deodatus started to like kind of fall from grace from the king. While the king was away, the queen approached Deodatus and said, "Hey, do you see that bowl over there?" And he's like, "Yeah." Well, I'm in love with it. So I need you to create or design a creature for me so that we can like consummate our true love. And Daedalus said yes. And he built a contraption so that the queen could go get it on with a bowl. And she gave birth to the Minotaur. And then the king was like super embarrassed that this happened, obviously, and was trying to cover up his wife's bestiality and this like creature, child, offspring that he now didn't know what to do with. So he told Daedalus to build him a labyrinth. And so the first maze labyrinth was designed and built, and Daedalus was the only one that knew how to get in and out of it. Um, and they stuck the Minotaur in the center of it. Then Theseus, I think, came to visit because he wanted to win um, the minute, yeah, Minos's daughter's hand in marriage. Really, he was just after the Golden Fleece, which is a totally different story. But basically, if you destroyed the Minotaur and got out of the labyrinth, you got a Golden Fleece, and you got Minos's daughter's hand in marriage. Well, um, Daedalus helped Theseus and gave him the key to success. And so he successfully killed the Minotaur and got out of the labyrinth. And so the king was really kind of mad at him and realized that even though he was like the most powerful person, um, he wasn't really because Daedalus knew the secret to all of his tricks because Daedalus had built them all. And so he imprisoned Icarus and Daedalus and was angry with Daedalus. And so he built the wings for him and Icarus, and they flew off the island because it was the only way off the island. and Icarus flew too close to the sun, and the wax on his wings melted, and he fell into the waves and died. And Daedalus said that that was the gods punishing him for having the hubris to attempt to fly, because flight was reserved for birds and gods alone. Um, yeah, so okay. Daedalus, we think might be a historically true person. Like he may have been a real person, but with most people from the Greek pantheon, they're so tightly interwoven with mythos, you don't know how much of it is true and how much of it is false. Um, and there is some like backstory. I think he killed his nephew or something, and that's why he fled to Crete in the first place. Because he was like supposed to be one of the best inventors, and then his nephew was showing signs of ingenuity and invented something cool, and so he got angry and killed him. And so, and that was when he was in Athens, and so then he fled to Crete. I have never paid that much attention um to the beginning part, obviously, because I was like mostly interested in how he was um interwoven with Icarus's story. But Daedalus is like somebody who's so full of hubris and self infatuation. Like he thinks he's the smartest person in the room. And I don't know if you know somebody like that, but I do, and they're really annoying. And so Daedalus just like gets on my nerves. Um anyway, I don't actually know how he dies. Um I'm reading this. Um So it looks like Minos goes hunting for Daedalus, finds him in the court of King Cocalus. Um, Daedalus escapes death. Okay, so there's not really any mention of like how he died, but that King Minos never got his revenge, for reasons. And we'll do an episode on Minos later. Also, not like one of the best fellas to know. Um, Yeah, so apparently, I mean, like mostly it's just that he was super smart. He advanced humanity greatly. And ultimately, like even the gods kind of found him mildly annoying, because he was like so smart. But it's his relationship to Icarus, and Minos that is like really what sets him apart from everyone else. So, which we just discussed. Yeah. Yeah, so after he survived, he made it to Sicily, and I guess he gave his wings to Apollo, to kind of like atone for his sins against the gods. Um, and then Minos tried to, oh, sorry. Minos tried to kill him, and that didn't work out very well. It doesn't really say how he died, which is weird. You'd think, but I guess not important. Anyway, okay, so that's who Daedalus was, and we'll discuss Icarus in our next episode, because I don't like to do anything. I have no system of organization at all. I like to tell people I'm organized and then not be organized. So that's honesty. See you guys next week. As soon as I again with the recording thing. Sorry.